So I'm with IMMORTALIZER. It's a solo project that became, kind of a bigger deal once I got some support from Ralph Sheppers of Primal Fear, which was a very big deal, especially for me being such a fan of his. And next thing I knew, I was, just building up the album and the future plans to build a band and to start touring and all that good stuff.
Okay, cool. So,
Yeah.
how long have you been around with your solo project?
So technically I've been a musician since I was about 9 years old, 8 years old, where I started playing drums, and then I moved on to guitar and vocals and so on. And IMMORTALIZER got formed technically in 2015, but officially in 2016, when I put together a 2-song EP. And I got it pressed on vinyl and everything, and it was a cool experience. It was fun to kind of go do it all from scratch and release it, mix and master everything. Literally did everything myself. If I could go back, I mean, I would have someone else mix and master the project, because the audio was the best I could do with what I had at the time. And since then, I've kind of upgraded some stuff to get the better, to get a better general quality. It's at a different level now as well. So
Yeah, I can understand that. So, but you have never have a band. You are just alone.
oh no. So I've been in I think about 13 bands in total.
Oh damn!
Yeah, so basically from the time that my best friend Jay and I got into music around 8 and 9, we built a band together, and then we basically stayed like as a unit throughout the bands, where he was either on guitar or I was on drums, and we were always the two of us joining bands, doing other bands, starting bands, forming bands. And it's literally a grocery list of bands. I can't even remember all the names. Thank God he can. But it was cool because I literally grew up with music. My uncle was a professional drummer, and I always idolized the guy. And he's a machine on the drums. And so watching him do it, and he was a touring act, and it was he toured Europe. It was really great. Like they went all over Canada. And so growing up, having him as an example, I really wanted to be in a band. And so we just started doing band after band after band. And then by the time I was 13, I was doing live shows, and with Jay, once again, he was on drums at this point, and I was singing and playing guitar. And it was also the first time we were doing our own material. So it was all original, compositions and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been quite a bit.
Okay, then you have played a lot in band, and I can think you have made a lot of songs also.
Oh my goodness, yes. I couldn't even tell you the full amount, but it's definitely over 100 compositions. There was, I think, 60 or 50 full recorded songs, and in terms of demos, there's hundreds and hundreds of them, because my brain just doesn't stop. Almost every time I pick up a guitar, a riff gets down, gets recorded on the phone. And I love that gadget now. I'm not a tech person, but I got to say that little recording app on your phone is amazing for songwriting. Sometimes I'll be in my car and I'll sing a melody into it and then create a whole song from it. So it's a fun tool.
I actually listened to your project today, and I really love it.
Right on. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, and we will play it at Friday on Veckans Band Metal Radio.
Nice. Thank you so much. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to release the album. It's going to be something. I'm quite proud of it, and it means a lot that Ralph's excited for it as well. And he's been great with throughout the entire process, because every time I had a new idea, because technically there was a lot of different song choices for the album, because I have technically about 2 or 3 albums worth of material, but I wanted to get the very best that I could for the first album, and then of course build on to the second and third when I have more time. But you know what I mean? I wanted every song to be a great song, so that it wasn't one of those albums where it's the single's great and then everything else isn't great. I really wanted it to be like front to back, beginning to end, as solid as it can be, And so it's been cool to have. It's been amazing to have Ralph's support through that process. You know.
Yeah, you know, we at Veckans Band Metal Radio, we play a lot of power metal, and
Yeah.
that's kind of metal I really burning for.
Yes, it's awesome, right? And I think
Yeah.
it's underrated in the metal community in some circles, and people kind of misunderstand what it's all about. But when you actually listen to the music and you get into the bands and you see what's
Yeah.
out there, like Halloween, Primal Fear, like holy crap, there's amazing material out there, amazing bands, you know?
Then I will give you a Swedish band with my best friend from Sweden, Lars Eng. He played with the band The Lightbringer of Sweden.
Sweet.
That band you need really check it out. It's a really great power metal.
Absolutely, yeah. There's so much, especially from Europe, power metal.
Yeah.
They really dominate the genre out there, and you guys kill it. It's amazing. Really good stuff.
We know metal in Sweden.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that is for sure. You look at the festivals, you look at the fans, like it is such a community out there, and I love that. I think we lack a bit of that in Canada. There's definitely a huge community, but when you look at Europe and Sweden and you know, it's wild. So I'm excited. I'm super excited to go and tour.
That's true. I can say one thing for you, but I take it after the record.
Yes.
So, but can you play me? Can you say me more about your songs? What is the lyrics? The story?
And so for which song? For the coming songs? Or
Yeah, or just some song.
yeah, so I guess we'll go back to what's already released because that's what people can see. But so with Cut Loose, we'll work backwards. With Cut Loose, it was really you know, when I was writing the song, I looked at the state of things, and I really thought, you know, it'd be great to have a song that people could kind of relate to on a more like, you know, life had gotten so heavy, and I just thought it'd be good to write a song about just cutting loose, having fun. And it's hard to have fun in a situation like ours in the world we're in, the conflicts that are going on, the problems. You know, COVID was a huge, you know.
Yeah, I know the fucking COVID. I got that in 7 times. So.
Oh my goodness, that's awful.
Yeah.
It was such a devastating thing for humanity, and you look at the end result, and it's, man, has it ever stirred shit. So I think it revved people up in the worst possible ways, and some people band together, but others just tore each other apart. So it was really a song about, you know, just being free, even if just for the 5 minutes you're listening to it. You know what I mean? Just having that mental freedom of detaching from the world just for a bit, you know.
That's true.
And then on the flip side, there was Gone to Hell, which was kind of a song written out of frustration, again, with the state of things, and just looking at the world like objectively and saying, you know, what are we doing? Like, how have things gone this far? And it's even more true now. The lyrics ring even more true than they did a few months ago. But yeah, it kind of blew my mind that these things were happening. So it was my way of like writing it. And I try not to go I never try to get preachy with my music. That's a big thing, where when it comes to politics or religion or whatever, like it's a blurry area that I explore, but I let the listener make their own conclusions, make their own decisions from what I write, you know. And so that's why it's never point blank, you know. It's not character assassinations of people. Like, it's really just, this is how I feel in a more, you know, artistic sort of way. And
I think you do that very great.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Yeah. It's been such a journey getting here too, because a lot of years have gone into everything I do, and it doesn't always seem that way, because, you know, when a new band comes out, sometimes you don't know the backstory, you don't know how long they've been doing it. And in my case, I'm going on, I think, 26 some odd years. It's literally over 25 years. So my entire life, basically, I've committed to music. And like I said, I started off as a drummer, and it was really my way of like getting some anger out, because I had it pretty tough growing up, and it was a great way to get that energy out. And then so of course metal was like, you know.
But when you are a solo project, do you recording every instrument by yourself?
I do, yes. And
Okay.
so having a foundation with drums, and then I learned guitar afterwards, and I started doing vocals, bass, and even keyboards, which I do the least. That's the keyboards are the one thing I fix the most post post
That's
process.
cool.
I mean, you know, because I can do it, but it's my fingers are more built for guitar. So
Yeah.
I try to do more, you know, orchestral stuff, strings and stuff. So it's a lot easier that. But in terms of drums, bass, guitar, vocals, it's all me. And I'll sometimes correct if I do a fill too fast or I do a fill too slow, because I can't really focus on one instrument, which is a bit of a problem, which is why I'm looking forward to having a live band and a full, you know, a full crew, because every time I get myself, you know, real sharp on drums, I'm the rust is starting elsewhere. So then I try to bounce between instruments all the time. So I never get to really focus on the one, you know?
Yeah.
So every once in a while I'll do a recording and I'm like, oh crap, that fill was way too slow or way too fast, you know? And then so I'll fix like that. But I try to be as true to what I can do as possible. So it's not, I don't use auto tune for my voice, for example. I don't correct, especially guitar. Guitar is all natural. There's no edits there. I do, of course, I layer stuff the way you know, your typical artist would do, three tracks and stuff like that. But it's not, it's in no way artificial, which is great. Same with the bass. I love playing bass. It's very much an extension of guitar in a way, but it's I try to make it as dynamic as I can without stealing too much focus from the vocal melodies, which Ralph has really helped me explore.
Okay, but is it hard and learn all instrument and play everything by yourself?
It is. Mainly because it took 25 years to really get to where I am, to be able to do each instrument with enough, you know, enough fire that it sounds good, right? Because like I was saying, like you get rusty when you don't play. And for about 8 years, when I was doing heavy show, like have a lot of doing a lot of shows with the other bands that I was in, I stopped playing drums for a while, and all the information was in my head. But having stopped for so long, it led to the point where I was like super rusty, and it really upset me, because I thought, like, I've got the knowledge, but my hands won't listen to my brain. And so it finally, I started to practice a small chunk of each instrument every day.
Okay.
And when I started doing solo work, I was forced to record everything myself. And then it really, really sharpened everything. And then when my skills were at a certain level, I was like, okay, I'm ready to do the project I've always dreamed of, which is IMMORTALIZER, of course.
Yeah.
And I started recording it, and next thing I knew, it kind of exploded. So it's been amazing.
Cool. So then I know who is can make a great jingle to me.
What's that?
I said then I know who can make a great radio jingle.
Oh yeah, you bet. Yeah, and I actually just did one a few weeks ago that it's pretty much all drums, but it's pretty kick ass. And so yeah, they're fun to do, you know, and the promo stuff's fun too.
We need a lot of radio jingles. If you want to do any, just do it.
Right on, yeah, for sure.
So can you tell me what is different from other solo artists?
That's a good question. I think I've been asked that a lot, and it's hard to answer without, you know, puffing my feathers, because I don't like to do that. But I mean, if I could say it, you know, the most black and white is that I think the one thing that sets me apart just a little bit is that instead of having kind of a very tight formula for what I do, I kind of have a wide spectrum where there's, you know, sometimes a song will be thrash, or it'll be, you know, power metal sounding or a little bit more just classic metal style. And so I eventually got to the point when I was asked like what style, what genre of metal is it? I couldn't really answer, so I just said it's just metal. Like,
Okay.
and so and I don't really like the over categorization of metal. Like I think it went a little too far. Like when they started doing subdivided sort of genres and types and stuff, it was good to classify, but when it gets over classified, it becomes too formulaic, right? Where if you're thrash, you have to sound like this. If you're power metal, you have to sound like that. And I like the freedom of being like, well, this song might be leaning a little bit more on, the classic or doom style metal. I don't want to have to alter it just to fit the style that I am. I'd rather have the freedom to flex, so I think that's the main difference.
Okay. So, where do you see your band in 5 years?
Ooh, that's another good one. I would hope that by that point, I've been able to, pump out at least the first 3 albums that I have basically in reserve. And by that point, I hope to be touring and, try to get as big as possible, and not to sound, like it's motivated for the wrong reasons. It's really just, I've loved music for so long. It's what I want to do with my life, and, I would hope that by then we've got like a good solid label that, really believes in the band and helps with the promotion side of things, and management company that is, really devoted to the band, like I've seen with a lot of other acts, and that I've gotten to know indirectly. But and then the biggest thing would be to be able to start touring, and I would love to be able to tour in Europe as well. So not just North America, of course. I want to go like all over the world, and I'd love to do like all the Asian continents, everything,
So, how is it when you are a solo project and be in live show?
Yeah, so that's the plan as it is now. Is I've already started to indirectly audition people for guitar, drums, and it's a bit of a tough spot because some people, there's a distance issue, and so I'm still trying to figure out where we're even going to live, because with the state of things now, we might have to move. And that might change my ability to put together a band. But once I've landed wherever we're going to land,
Yeah, that's true.
that's the big one, right? Once we've landed wherever we're supposed to land, or where we're going to land, my plan is to start doing live auditions, and I really believe in rehearsals for shows. And studio work, it builds up over time. You're there for multiple hours. It's a bit different. But with rehearsals before shows, I've never been the type of person who's just like, oh, forget the rehearsal, let's just go, because I want to give the crowd the best show I possibly can. And the best way to do that is to be super sharp in rehearsal so that you're super sharp live, right?
Okay.
And so, I hope in short order I can get like the full band together. And then once that's there, just like as a unit, because I don't really want to hire session guys or anything like that. I'd like full members and people that are committed to Immortalizer.
That's really cool. I really looking forward you coming to Sweden and play, and I will be there.
Thank you so much. I can't wait.
So, what have you for plan for next year?
So right now, while Ralph starts to finish up the mixing and the mastering for the remaining songs, we are going to just collect all that. And once the album comes out, there's going to be, of course, all the a lot of press work and things like that. But my main goal is to be able to get some limited edition vinyls pressed. And I'm still trying to figure out if I can do the picture disc, because I know that the cost is a bit more intense. But if I could get a short run of limited edition vinyls, and then maybe do a regular batch to be able to have more to sell, and then just some merchandise stuff that I've started working on, and some distributor stuff ended up being a problem. So I don't know too much about the merchandise. Still finding new vendors and stuff. Yeah, the main thing is to get that album out, and I'm really excited for the release. And when it does come out, I'd love to come back and talk to you about it and show. And
Yeah, of course. If you have Facebook, just add me on Said Johansson, and then you will see every news what happened at Veckans Band Metal Radio and everything.
Wonderful, thank you. Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, so and we always have a live stream at Facebook every Friday. We call it Förfest in Swedish.
Nice.
And then we're drinking beer with band and just talking shit and have nice time.
Very cool. That sounds good to me.
Yeah. So we are coming to part 2 of this interview, and that's our 8 fast question.
Okay.
So I will give you 8 questions from the fans.
Sure.
And yeah, it's some maybe strange question and fun question, and yeah.
No
You will
worries.
see.
Yeah, I'm used to it. I'm used to the strange questions.
You will see. So, but I give you a first question. So, what is
Sounds
the
good.
first record you buy for your over money?
Oh, Van Halen 1 and White Zombie's Les Exorcista, because at the same time I bought them both at the same time, and
Okay.
those were my first records purchased myself.
Okay, cool. So, which song do you wish you have made?
Oh, there's so many amazing ones. Probably Angels in Black by Primal Fear. I just adore that song, and so yeah, that'd be very high up on the list.
Okay, cool. So, what is the best record ever have released?
In my opinion, the best metal album.
Or just in the music world, I think.
Oh, the whole, yeah.
question.
Oh man, there's so many.
Is it?
You know, yeah, it's a really good one. Because of course you think, like there's British Steel by Priest that was just like an iconic metal album, an iconic album, period. And you know, the Sabbath Paranoid made such an impact. Like, oh, I don't know that I could name one, but I guess if I had to say like a personal favorite from all the years that I've been listening to music, it'd probably be Screaming for Vengeance.
Okay, cool.
Really big one for me.
So, what is the best concert you have seen?
Oh, dang. These are stumpers. Oh man. Again, Priest was amazing. Primal Fear was absolutely mind-blowing. So I'd have to say, yeah, I think it'd be Primal Fear.
Okay. So which beer do you think is the best one?
Oh, another stumper.
It's just
yeah, there's so many. And it's complicated too, because when you consider the different styles, like different styles have their own top dogs, you know. But in terms of bands that have like resonated like throughout my entire life, I would say probably Judas Priest.
Okay, so which band you think are most unrated band in the whole world?
Underrated?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I would say Primal Fear is definite.
Okay, so say a record. Oh, there you there. Say a record people don't think you like.
They don't think I would like?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the record? Most, I'd say like 90% is as metal. Then there's the rock universe. But something that they wouldn't think I would like. That's a really good one. I guess. No, I guess Van Halen wouldn't count because a lot of people would guess that. Dang, that's a really good question. If I had to say right off the bat, it would probably be the Misfits' Famous Monsters, which is more in the punk universe. So that might throw them off.
Okay, cool.
Great album.
What do you like and play on a big or small scene?
So I'm kind of, a go big or go home sort of person. So I'm up for anything. I love these intimate venues, and I do the festivals. Like I'd be ready. I'd be up for anything really.
Well, okay, we have it coming to part three, and these are every band have sent a question to next band, and
Oh,
I take a random question from all band.
right.
So I have take this question. What is your favorite food in festivals?
Oh, I'd have to say probably the well, hmm. Well, the German, like the all the hot dogs are top one because that's a safe bet. But poutine is another really amazing festival food.
Okay, cool.
What
But
about you?
I like really like gyros.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah,
There's so much good stuff, right? They know.
yeah, it's it. So, do you want to give a question to next band?
Yeah. I guess what's the funniest mistake you've made on stage?
Cool. I have actually that's a question from the first
Oh, it
interview
is.
I made,
Yeah.
but that's our for yesterday no last week I passed 400 interviews in
Oh
1 year.
wow.
So
Congratulations. That's amazing.
yeah, is it? So my question have changed a little bit.
Yeah.
So, do you want to say anything more to everyone? Everyone want to see this interview?
Yeah. So the main thing is I just really want to thank each and every one out there that's it's supporting Immortalizer, and that believes in the band, and that is excited for the release. And yeah, like their support means so much to me. So without those people, that are really loving the music, it wouldn't have the same fire. So I am extremely grateful to each and every one of them. So
That's cool.